Hey everyone, this is Jackie Gragnola with the Marketing Programs team. In this video, I'm going to cover why it is that we have an OR statement in the tokens for Marketo gated content template. And basically the reason that we have this token for OR is to make sure that we can implement the question mark or the ampersand as relevant for the Pathfactory link. What's important to note here is that this is all related to whether or not you use a custom URL slug on both the content and the Pathfactory track when creating in Pathfactory. So for example, the total economic impact of GitLab. On this piece of content, we did have a custom URL slug. Forrester-TEI is the name of that asset. However, because the custom URL slug is none for the actual track, the target track that this is in, it has this question mark x equals 7EIQEY, all this nonsense characters. But your URL can only ever have one question mark. So if I were to use this in my template right here, then the URL would be broken because it's now using a question mark after the Pathfactory link, and with two question marks, it will break the link. Let's take a step back though and ask where are these tokens used? And the answer is that they are in two spots. One is the autoresponder email. They're in the button at the top and the button at the bottom. So let's go ahead and click here and I'll show you what that URL looks like. We're using, Command C. I'm just gonna put it up here for demonstration purposes. So the code for that button right now is https:// which is going to enable Marketo to track the link. There's kind of a bug on the Marketo side that makes it so that you can't track against a refer that has that in the token. We then have content download URL. So in this case, it would be learn.gitlab.com/c/Forrester. Well, also, we have to take off the https:// here. And then it has the OR, which basically says question mark in this case, which we're going to end up changing this to an ampersand because the custom URL slug is not set for the track. So it has to be an ampersand so that it has only one question mark in the URL. Then it has lb_email equals lead.email address and my UTM. So what this will look like in the end, which we'll go ahead and preview. And I'm just gonna let you know it'll be exactly the same for this email confirmation button copy. It has the same URL slug. So let's go ahead and preview. And what you'll notice is that using the token that I added, look at the bottom left, it's going to go to https://learn.gitlab, question mark x equals ZEIQEY, which was our first token for the Pathfactory URL. And then it used an ampersand, which is where the OR statement comes in. And then it finishes off the rest of the parameters for lb_email equals. And in this case, it doesn't show anything because it's passing. I didn't put a viewer, like, so you can actually choose a person, and I'll go ahead and put in my test, and you'll see that that actually makes it so you can see in the email code that it pulls in my email address appropriately. So right now, and lb_email equals Jackie plus Gragnola or George at gmail.com or gitlab.com, and it has the rest of the UTM that is included in the tokens. So it's pulling together 4 different tokens technically. It has the Pathfactory URL token, the OR statement token, the lead.email address token, and the UTM token. And that's all passed through on the email. The other location that these tokens are all included is in the hyperlink for the thank you page. So once this comes up, I'll show you in the text editor what I mean. Come on. A little bit faster. And I'll show you what I mean by clicking into the text here. It's in the, okay. And the other location that this is in the hyperlink of the thank you page. So when you Command K, look at the hyperlink for the thank you page, it has the same code, https:// the content download URL followed by the OR token, and then the LB_email equals lead.email address. And it does not need the UTM because that would pass through from the email. So this is where the two locations where the OR is used. And I'll show you an example basically of a potential problem. So right now we have already edited the OR statement to be and that makes it so that there's only one question mark in the URL, and it will go to the Pathfactory experience as desired. If we were to have not updated, and I'm going to go ahead and just do this right now. If we hadn't updated this to an ampersand, we would have two question marks because we would have the question mark x equals blah, 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 and then the question mark here, which means that, let's go ahead and refresh to see the new preview. You would now see in the question, or in the hyperlink at the bottom left, Forrester-TEI question mark x blah 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 question mark LB_email. So that's going to break the link. It won't be able to go anywhere, so it'll default to the home page, which is not a great experience. So that's why it's important to update the OR statement. The preview URL is included. I update, and now down here it says /sales-play /Forrester-TEI. So it's a nice clean URL, and that's what we're standardizing, which is why the default in Marketo is to have a question mark, because that would mean that it's the first question mark of the UTM parameters, and it would track everything else that you would be adding in as the tracking. Any questions, feel free to direct them to the demand-gen Slack group, and we will try to answer as quickly as possible. Thanks so much.